Now, what makes this beginner friendly? First of all is the user interface. That screen clean, modern, also has front and rear curtain compensation, button here to go from TTL to manual mode. All right, let's talk about speedlights. Which one do I consider to be the best speedlight for beginners? Neewer gave me this flash in exchange for a video about a year ago, which means that the contractual obligations are gone. So in this video, I'm gonna share the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, seriously, this flash, I highly recommend this flash for beginners. Not because it's cheap, but because it's inexpensive. It's built solid. It is a solid workhorse. I mean, I love this little thing. I've traveled with it. I've shot weddings with it. I combined it with bigger flashes or medium strobes. I've used it a lot. On camera, off camera, it's literally never let me down. The only mistakes I had was not knowing how to use it, but that's on me. Now, what makes this beginner friendly? And there's a lot of things. First of all is the user interface, that screen here. It's so easy to use. It's way easier than many other flashes I've owned. It's clean, modern, you know, it's got a button here to go from TTL to manual mode, so you can easily go from automatic to manual. It's beginner friendly because you can shoot without feeling overwhelmed. There's so many features that it has that beginners are not gonna use them all at first, but you will grow into them. It's good to know you have them so you can grow into them. And then you don't have to worry about buying a whole new setup because this one has them all. 76 watt second power is stronger than most speedlights. It's awesome. It's got a precise manual range from 1:1 to 1/256 of a power. A zoom with 28mm to 105mm. And speeds, high speed syncs up to 8,000 of a second. This is awesome for creative work. Plus strobe mode, stroboscopic mode for creative work. It also has front and rear curtain sync, flash exposure compensation, exposure bracketing, and exposure lock. Basically, you're getting a professional flash in this beginner-friendly body. Okay, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Let me bring you a little bit closer. All right, so look at this. I got some beautiful chocolates that someone sent me for Christmas, but they're beautiful little chocolates. They look fantastic. I got the main light over there that I'm using now for video, and that's not going to interfere with the flash. That's the best thing about flash photography. If you set it at a higher power, it's gonna block out every other light. So let me show you a couple of setups here on camera flash, how we can get photos for stock that are very sellable. All right, so look at this. I have my camera an ISO 100, 200th of a second flash on camera at a quarter power. And I'm gonna be using this white wall to bounce light onto these chocolates. Now look at the light here, literally just bouncing off the wall. Fantastic. This is simple and it works. I forgot how to use this camera. That's the good thing about this swivel. I can move this all the way around so I can literally focus where I want that light to go. Like that, it just looks really good. The chocolates look fantastic. It's a little bit limiting because I have to use the wall to reflect it, but that's why we have a trigger and we could use it off camera as well. All right, now I have the flash here on that softbox. Remember, the bigger the light source, the softer the light's going to be. So here it looks, let's compare these lights. And that's okay, that's perfect. I didn't turn this on, so you can see that without the flash, it's totally dark. There's the light from here is not interfering. Let me change the angle here just a little bit to get a little bit closer to the subject. There we go. So look at that. That's going to be super soft. It might be too bright because I am way closer. Let's say sample here. Look at that. It just looks soft. It looks beautiful. Very simple, just a very nice light. That's all it takes to get sellable stock photos. It just looks great, and that's with one light source. I'm not even reflecting it, because as you can see, I'm blocking from the wall behind me. Now, it works on camera and off camera. You can pop it on your camera like I have it here, and I made a video not too long ago using different flash accessories, and it works fantastic. And those photos I made for that video, the sample photos, have already sold on stock sites. So it is professional quality lighting in this little flash. Anyway, you can also pair it with the Q Pro trigger, which is this one I have right here. And now you can use it off camera. That was bright, whoa. now you have a full wireless system. Like I said, it grows with you. It's a lighting setup that you don't outgrow it. It just joins the rest of your lighting system, which is, it's awesome. You can pair it with the new Neewer Z3, which is the same ecosystem, just a little bit more power. Or with bigger strobes. And you can even pair it with the Godox system via the RX Compact mode. Outdoor high-speed sync, studio flash, studio lighting things. Like, I've used this for a lot of commercials shoots, the Z2. Alright, so there we have it. It's a one light setup. I had the Z2 up there with a softbox, another reflector down here, which is silver, and a gold one on this side. The gold one's gonna give me a little bit of a hint of color on the right side of my face, while this one's gonna be just soft diffuse light. Having it close like that, it's gonna really soften that light, because the bigger the light source is, softer that light's going to be. But literally, that is one light source. Right now it's at a quarter power, and I can get f7.1 at a quarter power at this distance. And having these other reflectors here is going to fill in that light. Now, if I want to add a little bit more power, I can use the Q200 from behind, just as a side light. So here, let me show you. That's the trigger. This is the Q Pro trigger, which wirelessly connects and controls these lights. Now, let me turn this one on just so you can see the light. I'll put it here away from the background, right onto the back of my head. That gives you a different look. Same setup, one main light, and then that's a hair light, a rim light, that'll literally just illuminate the back of my head. Perfect one light setup for portraits, or a two light setup for simple portraits. You can go from simple portraits to outdoor high-speed sync to even full commercial studio lighting with something small like this. I recently just took the Z2 across country because it's lightweight, it's portable, and it's plenty powerful. I used it to shoot weddings, indoors and outdoors. It's awesome, the rear curtain sync, to get some of those fun photos and enough light and broad daylight to light up your subjects. You can get 600 full power pops per charge. I only use it at full power a few times here and there when I really had the sun behind me and I wanted that brightness in your subjects. But most of the time it's between a half and a quarter power, which means that 1.5 second recycling time at full power comes way down to like a second when you're using it at half power or less. It has consistent 56 Kelvin color, which is awesome when you're editing. The modeling lamps, it has two, and that's these lights right here that can show you where that flash is gonna go. And then it's got another one down here. There we go. So it's really easy to see where that flash is going to hit. And then the swivel, you can move the head all the way around 330 degrees, I believe it is, and -7 because it goes down a little bit, or up to 120 degree tilt. Look at that, it goes back. So very useful when you're trying to control the lighting and where you're gonna put that lighting. Let me dim that a little bit. I like it here on one. Looks cool. Now, this is the part that beginners always get wrong. Cheap, you always go for a cheap flash and they just frustrate you. And they're very easy to outgrow. Now, this one is not cheap. It's inexpensive. Now, here's the one thing I don't like about this, and it is this little switch here. I love that it's manual to ETTL, but I wanna see a toggle switch, you know, something that you can not accidentally push and then it goes to ETTL. If I want something that you can, you know what I mean. That's the only thing I don't like about this thing. The rest feels solid. It feels like a good solid flash, a workhorse. This could be a great addition to any setup. And I do want to make a few more photos with different lighting, different techniques, showing how to light a subject, especially food and drink photography, because I want to sell more stock photos. So if you want to see more videos, let me know if you want to see more smaller flashes like this one, or maybe a medium one like the Q200, or a full size like the Q6. Maybe combining multiple flashes. I don't know, I got a few ideas, but let me know what you want to see and I'll do my best to capture it. So yes, if you're starting out, I do believe the Neewer Z2 is a great option, and not because it's the cheapest, because it's the most likely the last beginner flash you'll need. And like I said, the Z3 is out, which means that the price on this one is probably gonna drop some more. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Maybe this one up here if you're interested in a more powerful strobe, because I mean, seriously, who doesn't want more power?